Chili here with siriustalesmoon, and this is Moon Hour Moon Day. Moon, 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 moon. So let's open the window and let the sun come in. Moon is 8 degrees Scorpio with the midheaven at 13 degrees Scorpio. Ooh, it's cold outside and the sun is shining. I want to talk about why taxing the rich. Yes, it's okay. No, that would be me. I want to talk about why taxing the rich could end up as the curse of resources and what can we do instead. So, I've been hearing a lot about tax the rich, coming from people who probably did not see um, trafficking cults in two close encounters. Um, and either that or they just think about the strategy of taxing the rich, believing that the taxes would go to the citizens. As so a little, and it's not the first time I need to, I meet this type of argument. Um, Either calling for people to not pay taxes, which again I'm not for or against taxation. Okay, in the United States they're saying God we trust, in Sweden they're saying tax we trust. Um, both had their goods and bads. Behind the welfare state was actually the fact that Sweden couldn't easily enslave people and had to offer actual mining labor rights, and they did that through the welfare state. So again, if I'm wrong and I was not exposed to things because I was doing a Google Scholar on the articles as an academic, then I'm always open to hear the opinions of people that they were actually living that. I don't say that I have all the truths of all the world, but this is an invitation for people, if they experience a different reality or lived through these times as citizens and civilians, then of course I think I've shown that upon exposure to new information, I'm more than able to refresh and refine my opinions. Um, so behind the welfare state was the fact that Sweden couldn't just do United States and kidnap people and enslave them. They couldn't fund for that, and so they had minerals and they had to give labor rights, and they built a welfare state, and then they had to give it to the citizens, this welfare state. But when it came to the Malmo housing crisis, instead of building ecosystemically in rural Sweden, they decided to keep it as a intense seething bubble of black market housing, so that people will call for liberalization of the welfare state, which indeed we heard voices calling for such so-called liberalization, which without increasing the housing offers, which means building outside the city ecosystemically, um, neither public housing nor private sector would release the black market, and we know that the private sector loves to keep lack around its products. When its products are a house, it's a problem. Um, Now this is ik maak probleem. Uh, yes, of course, Europeans have sentiments that are. It's not just sentiments; it's also actions. A little bit of too light, green too light. And here we go. Now, Mars in the Sun, 21 degrees Capricorn, Ascendant, 26 degrees Capricorn, on my lot of fortune. What am I fated to say? And yes, so why is taxing the rich another form of the curse of resources? So when I was learning about the structure of political systems, one of the things that we were learning about was the curse of resources. For example, when Israel found gas in between the Sea of Lebanon and Israel. No, it's Israel Sea. It's the Israel Sea. Nobel Energy. There was a question: should the state confiscate the profits of Nobel Energy for the country? And I remember the face of the founder of Maariv, a media company, Israeli newspaper, when after Maariv separated from Yediot, and his face when they found oil. It was looking like an Emir Kusturica film. I have to tell you, I was working for an insurance company. The son of the owner of the company was invested in oil. Again, it was looking like an Emir Kusturica. They didn't know if they will find, what they will find. Very speculative. And they did the infrastructure. I think it was Nobel Energy. And the people said, hey, we should be enjoying free energy. Of course, there is also the marine life implications. Lebanon. And like I said in this episode of Ik Maak Probleem. And the and here is the thing. We know historically that when a country discovers natural resources, corruption basically runs like oil. And we know that the more a regime is reliant on taxation, I'm going to say it again, the more a regime is reliant on taxation, the more representative it is. We know that because when the lobbyers are doing extortions and infiltrate regimes, and it's usually done together with, I talked about creating a lack, so this is not exclusive to the real estate market, it's also the natural resources that are mined from the real estate market. And they decide to release an asset. For example, as happened with Nobel Energy, they released an asset, and that asset was questioning to be confiscated or not by the country. Once they release the asset, if it's not directly distributed to the citizens, then it gets confiscated either by the country or by the private sector. At any way, the government is liable to extortion. So when we think about representative regime, we need to think about wealth redistribution directly to each and every individual in the world, regardless of gender, origin, and so on and so forth, of the mining of the minerals. We will not have representative regime without it. Okay, for example, let's say, give me a name of your favorite activist tomorrow if they are going to the parliament. They have to go through a ritual where there are both raped and raped children, mind controlled and extorted, filmed, extorted to make policies that are completely different from what they were when they were running. Um, and the more they are resistant to that, the more not only assassination threats they would get, but the more actual attempts. And I was at the juncture of speaking up to prevent one in the Netherlands. I'm not going to elaborate about that. Um, those who follow my channel probably know to the names of who was supposed to be the assassin. And they love doing that in the sense that if somebody is, let's say, speaking in favor of a certain minority, Moroccans, in favor, then understanding that the big drug lords want to take down the small drug lords, so they will get the Moroccan drug lord to order an assassination snuff film, basically. Um, Again, drugs are used in extortion cults to rape children and in the rituals and so on and so forth. That's an important component to address when we think about policy regarding drugs. But I don't fool myself to think that prohibition on drugs is something that is going to sort out the issue. More like zero rape society, because this is the core creator of addictions. And ritual abuse abolition, of course. And what can I do? Jupiter is 19 degrees Cancer, okay? And this is also ascendant of the 1800 chart, a certain Rahu. I said what I said. So what can we do instead? And you say, Shirley, but why taxing the rich? Well, this is because if the government relies on the wealth of the rich, okay, it's not that taxation is just going to be funneled to classified projects, and then classified projects will have more legal funding, not money laundered, to target more civilians and ISIS them. So, in fact, raising awareness as to classified, and here is the opportunity we have. At the age of air, Pluto is politics. Any Saturn sign has to do with budget. Declassify classified projects, transactions. It's tax money. And d'être. Raising awareness of the with the people. Call to declassify the classified projects transactions. Due diligence, due diligence. If people that call to not pay taxes or whatnot, call to not pay taxes until they declassify these projects, first of all, you're not violating the law. Because you're basically delaying a pay. You're not saying I'm not going to pay taxes. You're saying I'm going to delay. In fact, in Chicago, what was it in Chicago? I don't know if it was Chicago Red. There were people that were refusing to pay taxes until they declassify some investigation regarding, I think it was assassination of persons of the community, as people of color community in Chicago. And when you say a contract has been violated, I'm not going to not pay taxes. I'm going to delay my tax payment until the classified projects exposes all of their transactions. People said they could do it with Epstein list. Better than Epstein list. Until then, I'm going to delay the payment of taxes. Now, it's only if you go through the tax bracket. Okay, a lot of us don't go to the tax bracket even, but that's one thing. By the way, back in the time, Warren Buffett was offering, I think, not to tax the rich, but to de-tax the poor. But then again, there are people that don't even go through the tax bracket. Now, classified projects declassified to the transaction is going to show where tax money is actually going. What's the blind spot in tax money, where it's actually going? And it's not violating the law because it's breaking a contract. Classified projects is a break of the contract of whether people pay tax to a place that's supposed to represent them, where the tax is supposed to go to them. Okay, a government is a non-for-profit organization. It cannot be for-profit organization. Okay, when a public, like a government, like a municipality, city, okay, declares itself a for-profit, not a non-for-profit, it means one thing and one thing only, that it's basically exploitation, enslavement, extortion cults, trafficking, organ trading of the people. It's concentration in death camps declared in due diligence. That's the accountant's meaning of basically turning a non-for-profit municipal or governmental organization into a for-profit organization. It's trading people, which is a crime against humanity. Okay, when I informed the Histadrut, yes, probably a lot of people, criminals, not criminals, crime families, whatnot, liberals, not liberals, of any origin, are probably in standing ovation because I declared for the Histadrut a monopoly. Falcon, I want my sushi, okay? If you want me to live in a tent until everybody has a house, yes, make sure even the street is safe. I go for zero rape society, better chances than Muammar Gaddafi. Um, what is the Histadrut? Is the labor's union. Especially, what's the problem about the labor's union? Well, here is a problem. I time tested the structure. There were certain people that were burning. There was a person that confessed to me that he's the guy that sends people to burn houses. Absolutely not Arab. I don't know why was it so important to him. And he threatened my house, which was, I have to admit, I was complimented because I did not know I have an asset. I feel rich now. Anyway, yes, he would do basically um, he would send people to burn houses. But if these people didn't want to burn houses, they didn't want to do crime, they could have a job as driver in the public transportation. And he says, no, Jews want to work with this public transport. This is not true. If I go to Arad city, many women drivers. Okay, particularly after they tried to put women in the back of the bus. But there was the case of many Arabs that were working in public transportation. They didn't even have time to pee. And they would have to pee into a can in the bus like they were like they were homeless and take that off the cameras. So I said to the Histadrut, listen, I'm just passenger, but I noticed that there is this thing. Hey, do you want to take that thing on and make sets of class lawsuits or sets of lawsuits or something like that? If you do, because I'm such a nice citizen, I want free transportation tickets. Makes sense, okay? If I prevented, and they said, no, then nobody turned to us. We don't do anything. We don't deal with that. I said, well, then I will have to offer a competing company because you are, as a company, being seen as a monopoly. And um, this is called time testing of the structure. And then after a couple of silent minutes, I'm getting an answer that I don't understand about these things and so on and so forth. I said, well, it's supposed to be a public information that's accessible to me. So if I don't understand, please send me the links that explain the laws and so on and so forth. I'm supposed to be able to represent myself in the system. Um, so even a labor union can be a monopoly. They get paid by the people. You have to pay a fee to be a member of that union. And they get paid, and if they are the only company that offers those services, they're basically a monopoly in the field of labor union representation. Now, if people knew something about the Histadrut in Israel, say Greenpeace couldn't could challenge Standard Oil, but not the chemtrails. Standard Oil could be dissolved, but the Histadrut. um, so, one thing we can do instead of taxing the rich, or not instead of taxing the rich, is call to declassify classified budget projects. In fact, that's the one thing that changes everything. Another thing we can do, raise awareness to extortion cults. Instead of complaining that people don't people anymore, here's the reason why they don't people. And the connection between extortion cults being funded by classified projects, which is basically public money. Who fund the TRO? We the people. Be aware that the siphoning of energy by creating slavery-based design in corporation life, in housing sector, and so on and so forth, regardless of whether we are capitalist. Okay, capitalism is not corporatism. It's definitely not monopoly. In fact, it's the antithesis of those. In fact, capitalism is the good argument against communism, because in communism the state owns the corporations, and capitalism calls to dissolve that monopoly of the state. But as we see that capitalism with extortion cults, both communism and capitalism go off the rails, because if each and every individual doesn't have not just a dividend or equity, but is also a decision maker in that corporation, neither capitalism nor communism works. Now, so those are two things we can do instead of calling to tax the rich. Because what we care about is representation. More important to wealth redistribute in each and every individual in the world having a say and dividends in the rare earth minerals, which means that those little Congolese children that we see working, they should have a say and dividends in the rare earth mineral mining. If they are able to work, they are able to decide. If they are labor, they have a say. It also means they should be able to vote. Or we abolish child labor, and only those who, which means that the minute a person becomes 16, 17, 18, okay, voting rights, or the time they have an ID, they already have a say and a vote and dividends in rare earth minerals. Whether it's one company, several companies, we will not have representation, no matter how we can tax the rich. So that money will go to enslave the poor. Should there be shilumim for the people that were used in rituals and extortion cults? Yes. You'd be surprised who are the people that are, aside of the families of the expandable children, who are the people that are most eligible to those shilumim. Okay, that would be Epstein list. I think I have established that argument quite well. Housing first, independent of ability to work for unlimited time. And relieve the patient and abolish all type of attacking of these people. Okay, it doesn't mean that the other ones are not eligible to shilumim. Each and every one of us in the world probably, but but why am I saying you'd be surprised? Because those are the people that didn't have the door to exit that violence. They were born, sometimes cloned, in those societies. So I know this is controversial. It's not a superficial view of equity, justice, welfare, or taxation, but it does offer an unusual, actual core issue point of interference or points of interference regarding. And also, if we want to abolish extortion cults, it's not about let's say decapitating the rich, or even if we talk about execution, we talk about humane, not about torture, humiliation rights. Those are coming from extortion cults, and they do not abolish these type of practices. So we talk about humanity is also standing up to our standards of humanity and showing that in our hands the world is fairer, more equal, more humane, more thriving, and more loving.